I'm on a date tonight, so I'll have to just look good. No, I'll just do it in front of her.
He's kept going! He scored! Oh, Stockport pressure. And a superb goal! Johnny did it! Lisa! Rose tries to get the ball in. Wilkinson!
It's a 5-star performance from Stockport County.
All right, we got a small house, but we got a big bloody heart, I tell you.
Hello, yes, another week has gone by and it's time for episode 23 of SK3 TV, the series that's bringing you the first look at all the weekend's county action and all the reaction to the cup draw. We've covered all bases with the reactions, like whether you hate the draw,
I'm bitterly disappointed.
whether you're like on the fence,
Not great or terrible.
or maybe you just think it's a bit
London?
far. Yes, we are with you for the next hour or so, talking all things county, Brackley, Birmingham, Exeter, and the cup draw. With me, Nick. It's Hannah. Hello.
Hi, happy Monday.
How are we?
And happy December.
Yes. Happy December.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm good. I was by the end of the draw, Sophie got really, like, we were booing at the TV. We didn't want Exeter away. We didn't want Bristol away. There were a few others. We got really into it. And by the end, when there were just London teams, all you wanted was a home draw.
Same.
No,
Same.
wasn't. But,
Fine,
isn't it?
I'm sure my opinion will change
well
over the next hour or so. I think that'll be it. It'll just it'll come round. But I don't know how he feels about the draw. We don't want to know everything. We'll be here all night. It's Will. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
That sounded like a dick.
Yeah.
That sounded really horrible.
It did. I was trying not to take it personally. I knew.
At least I didn't draw attention to it.
Yeah, I knew as soon as I moved back to Stockport, we'd get a Premier League London club in the third round away. I thought it was going to be Chelsea because I've wanted us to be away at Chelsea for years and years and years and years. So I'm relieved that it's not Chelsea. But yeah, if it's Friday or Monday, I might be able to go. But if it's Saturday or Sunday,
I think it'll
no
be Monday
chance.
myself. I think it'll be Monday.
I think it's going to be Saturday. I think it's going to be Saturday 3 o'clock. We're not going to be on TV.
No.
If we were at home, we might have ended up on TV.
So,
I mean, you've got Chelsea
do something weird.
Chelsea Morecambe.
Morecambe. I mean,
Tamworth.
the amount of teams with numbers near us. Because I was sitting along and I was watching along and I was like, so in whichever club I was like, oh, I'd like these, and it's 56, and I'm like, just like,
Yeah.
Livid,
buckets.
Absolutely livid.
Yeah.
I mean, really, like as it was going on, like once you saw all like the big hitters, once we didn't get like Arsenal away, and once Spurs got Tamworth, it was just like, oh. But I mean, Chelsea...
I was happy for Tamworth. Getting Spurs at home. That's cracking. That.
Yeah.
Well, no, it'd be
I
better.
would rather it was us, but yeah.
And City at home to Salford.
That was an interesting one. There would have been more of a reaction to that if there was any City fans or any Salford fans.
There was the Salford manager there at the draw, wasn't there?
No. It was
Curtis.
Oh, was it not? I wasn't paying that much attention.
Will Moorcroft was there as well, but he, couldn't work out why there was so much of a delay. Me either. It just felt like it kept going.
Although I'll never pass up an opportunity to look at Kelly Summers, so I was quite happy. Right, some admin you'll have seen at the top of the show and in the episode description if you're reading on the audio version. We've got our Christmas quiz on the 18th of December. at Stockport Gin, hosted by Ben of this parish and of County Shirts fame. And it's going to be punishingly intricate. It's going to be good, but it's going to be a chance to drink. Did all the promo for that last week. Just get yourself a ticket and come down. It'll be a good laugh. Any other, Anna, any admin? Tell people what to do if they're watching on the YouTube video.
They should like and subscribe, Nick. I was also going to say that there will be prizes to be won for the quiz. It's not just for fun, because it won't be fun.
It's definitely not for fun.
Quiz.
Anybody who gets more than 50% is probably cheating. That's my take on it.
Yeah.
No, because
I wasn't at the last one, so
no, neither was I.
I've got some of them little things that you can lock your phone in, like when you go to a Bob Dylan gig and he doesn't want it filled. You put your phone in like a pouch and you go, I'm going to get a load of them, and we'll take everyone's phones off them.
No, we're not.
So if anyone's got any ill relatives, best not come.
Think of all
that people won't come. If you try and take people's phones away from them for 2 hours, they're not coming. Don't do that. That's madness.
I'm allowed mine.
Mindfulness.
No, I won't take anyone's phones. It's fine.
I would never give Nick my phone ever.
No.
For any reason.
Sounds like a terrible. I did let him get my phone out of my car the other day, and I was very grateful. So actually, I take that back. I would let Nick have my phone. I'm very grateful. See, please help me next time I need your help. You are a nice guy, fine, despite the fact that
reputation precedes me.
Despite the fact that you definitely got a little dick in there at the start.
What?
You know, it just wounded me. You wounded me.
What,
we'll be here all night. We'll be here all night.
Oh, dig.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said dick.
And then he wounded you with it.
It's what I do, ladies. It's what I do.
Look, I've thrown my back out. I'm not in a good way.
With that, the little dick.
Well, we're all hurtling inexorably into the sun anyway, so it's fine, isn't it? I'm not taking having to go to London very well. I'm really not.
No.
Oh, I'm used to it, but yeah.
That place, don't like that place. Right, we'll get on to Brackley after this. Yes, so Brackley at home on Saturday. I was lurgified, not hungover as you claimed, Hannah, because I didn't go out, did I, Will?
Well,
no, he did not.
You preempt your non-attendance at pre-gaming with, if I'm feeling up to it, I might be too hungover, and then you don't turn up. It's
maybe it was the fact that you called it pre-gaming, Hannah. Maybe that was it.
Yeah, I spend too much time with the Americans.
Yeah, no, for the Yanks.
You did set that up though, Nick. You did say to us all, if you're not hungover, and then you got ill.
I know, but
I can vouch that you weren't drinking. I can vouch that you weren't drinking. I saw you. I gave you one Cobra and sent you on your way.
That was it. That's all.
That was it. That's all it takes to give Nick a hangover. Is one. It wasn't even a large Cobra. It was a small Cobra. It was all I had in the fridge.
Well,
and now I'm on the rum.
Outside the interchange, being sick.
Well, I sat in the courtyard with my gingerbread Oreos. Dan Malt, Charlotte.
I was mentioned on the show.
Nigel had some gingerbread Oreos.
I was there too.
Yes, Will was there too. I was trying to remember who was sat next to me.
Wow.
Feels good, doesn't it, man? Feels good.
At least I found the tablets now. We're good. We get better.
Yes. Oh, yes. What a day. What a day for everyone. Hannah, talk to me about the game.
Well, I watched a YouTube review of it today. And yeah, it's good to get different people's opinions on just everything generally. Football is a game of opinions. Some opinions are wrong. But I really enjoyed one that said it was a shame that Brackley scored because it would have been 3-0. And I was sitting there thinking, yeah. No, Brackley didn't score.
We scored.
And that was,
4 times.
I think that says a lot, actually. Like, I was sat behind the dugout and I felt a little bit sorry for their manager at some point. I think it was after Tante's goal, because he properly, like, you know, when you see someone like fold over hands on his knees, like just a little bit broken.
I do it on a daily basis.
But then I realised, actually, no, they've scored no goals. It's not that close, but we let them back in the game, and that was where it all went wrong for me. I mean, we won, like nothing went wrong really, but it was that second 11 again that just don't seem to mesh very well, and we let a team back in when we shouldn't have done. That's what I think about that. So I spent a lot of time people watching the dugouts, just general main stand shenanigans and opinions. Courier Dye, as a fact check, Courier Dye is not 6'10". I heard that repeatedly.
No.
People mental.
Yes.
It's 6'10". What are you doing? Yeah. But no, I enjoy it. I just enjoy a trip to the main stand occasionally.
I don't.
Well, Will doesn't. Well, that's been the most fascinating thing about this. Is there was a poster on Yellow Board who's a usual main stand frequenter, a usual main stand frequenter, and he/they/she was livid at the fact there was people in there singing. Like, genuinely, I've never seen anyone so annoyed about anything in my life ever. It was just
safe
space. Yeah, don't call anything a safe space because you're going to get the piss taken out of you, and rightly so. But it's just, I don't know. I don't get it. And then the whole argument of, well, there's plenty of seats in the Tudor lane. Why didn't you sit there? It's like, because some people like a side-on view.
Yeah.
Which is why we sit in the pop side and have done for over 20 years.
Yeah, actually, I was pretty much the other, pretty much opposite where
I normally sit and where you normally sit.
Yeah, Chris says I looked delighted when Brackley scored. That was a grimace, but it was captured particularly well by the BBC.
It was phenomenal. That picture was priceless. Yeah, I mean, we've let them back into it, but through an individual moment of madness.
A hilarious individual moment of madness. But imagine, right?
I mean, it wasn't hilarious at the time.
Imagine that had been their winner. Imagine we'd been level, and then we'd scored that own goal, and then they'd won, and we'd have been livid about it for like 48 hours. And then in the last hour or so, we would have been, oh, well, we only missed out on Palace away. And that's why I don't think it's a brilliant draw.
Yeah.
There we go. I've just convinced everyone there.
You've convinced yourself. I don't think it's a brilliant draw. I don't mind. It's not a brilliant draw.
You know what, though? It might.
It's not really any redeeming features, is there? It's Palace. Like, we're not going to win.
Winnable. They're not doing very well.
Are they struggling this season? I don't really.
They've they've lost 3 out of the last 4 or something.
I'd have rather we got Forest or something.
Don't take that as
them
gospel.
Getting David Moyes in.
Yes.
If
I thought Everton.
It's a fantastic draw.
Nick's gone.
It's a fantastic draw for fans of wordless chants.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is Palace are the sort of genesis of that we follow song, and that is possibly my least favourite football chant of all time.
Yeah.
And I really don't want us to lose to them.
Several chants that are going to get brought back from there. Like, so some of our fans are going to hear some of them chants and go, "Oh, we'll start singing."
No,
that. It's going to kill me.
Please don't.
Teo can tell us all the things.
Yep, we've got a mole. Wonder if
Very
we'll still have Louis Barry.
Don't. Well, we're going to have something to. We're going to have something to say about that later on.
Well, Will, that's going on the square jar.
Me and Hannah are instituting a new system whereby
you can't institute it before you tell me.
Well, no, we're telling you now, William.
Oh, evil!
Sorry,
see, Hannah can't get full named. Hannah can't get full named. It's not fair.
Hannah J. Brown.
Do you know as well that Will really doesn't like being called William? I know.
No, and it involves childhood trauma. So thank you for that.
I'm really sorry. I'll buy you some more
No,
biscuits.
She called,
I'm going to legally
I quite
change my
liked it, to be
name.
honest.
Again.
I'm going to legally change my name to James. It's going to happen.
What I did like on Saturday was how, as a footballing WhatsApp community, we came together, and it ran into Sunday morning to
Well, it was unspeakably dull, wasn't it?
understand the exact rules of the game,
Oh, God.
all of the permutations and like consequences of different outcomes of that bloody back pass. And I quite enjoyed it. Like, I feel like I learned something.
It was like
I still don't.
like-
I don't think I learned anything. I still don't know exactly what the rule is.
it was like the hunt for a serial killer or a missing child or something. Everyone just banding together. It was lovely. It was no one. I mean, I came out of it none the wiser at the end.
And do you know what? Like Dave said, because he was liaising with the referees, and there were a number of referees consulted on this.
I believe so.
And what I enjoyed about the whole kind of outcome was that actually it was probably best that he didn't get to it, because if he had, the referee undoubtedly would have made the wrong decision, because I think all three referees, with the exception of one at the end, like the definitive one on Sunday morning, said, because it all stems, the rules are, if it's not from if it's from the restart and it's the second touch, then the goalkeeper faces disciplinary action. As it was, there's kind of two different permutations, one inside the box and one outside the box. It would have been an indirect free kick, which is what we'd kind of come to the conclusion early on, but didn't have any evidence to back it up.
Yeah.
And now we do, and we'll know for next time.
Next time, Callum Connolly leathers one into the middle of his own goal from near the heart, from basically the halfway line.
Let's not have that again. Am I being controversial to say, can we just not ever do that again, please?
I mean, I've seen a couple of things. I have seen some people mention it not being a back pass, and I just think that is incredible analysis. I think I read that on Yellow Board.
I'd rather people saying it's not a back pass than people call it a pass back.
I knew you were going to get that.
Anything in football. Yeah. It's always a pass back. It's like, no, a pass back to the goalkeeper is a pass back. A back pass is a different thing.
Yeah.
So
I've seen that suggested. I've seen it suggested that it was a brilliant pass from Callum Connolly because it ended up in the middle of the goal. And I'm like, under no circumstances is a pass to the middle of your own goal a brilliant pass. And under no circumstances would either of our goalkeepers be stood even in their own area under those I did a crude draw. I got a JPEG off the internet
at midnight on Saturday.
Oh God, because I was just incensed that, look, if anybody is blaming Corey Adai for that own goal, it is just because they have a vendetta against Corey Adai. Yeah. I've said a lot that I think Ben is the better keeper at the moment. I think Corey Adai could be a better keeper eventually, but right now I think Ben is the better keeper. But Ben would have been stood in around the same part of the pitch that Corey Adai was stood when Connolly leathered that, and I don't think Ben would have got to it either. Maybe he could have made more of an effort to slide. Like we've moved on from the jumping on it and is it a red card for Dogso? Is it just the indirect free kick? Is it a yellow? Like we move on from all of that. He could have tried to slide in and kick it. I still don't think he would have got there. I don't think Ben would have either. It did look a bit like he was running through treacle. But I've seen it suggested that was a lack of effort. And I just think, no, he's just not that quick. He's a goalkeeper. How many goalkeepers are that quick off the mark? Maybe he could have done more. It's Connolly's mistake. It's not Corey Adai's mistake. Plus, on the upside,
if I'd ran after it, I would have followed. So he's done better than me.
I mean, yeah, you would. So would I. I'd be like, why am I on a football pitch? I wasn't good when I was younger. I think, the one upside of conceding that goal is I don't think Tanto scores that third if Brackley aren't looking for an equaliser. And I think overall, I would rather we won that game 3-1 and Tanto got a goal when he's low on confidence and is clearly not enjoying his football at the moment. You can see that from the lack of celebration. He did an interview with, I think, BBC Radio Manchester that was on Twitter. He's clearly not happy at the moment. Him getting a goal is actually, I think, more important than us keeping a clean sheet against Brackley in the third round of the FA Cup. Second round of the FA Cup. I think that was really important for Tanto that he got that goal. So you know what? Ultimately, Callum Connolly did us a favour. So he was helping a teammate out by.
I mean, let's not clip that particularly.
Please don't put that in the trailer. Please don't put that in the trailer, Nick. God.
Timestamp 20.
Oh no.
Let's make a note of that.
But I was delighted for Tanto. I think I celebrated that more than either of the goals in the first half. In fact, I know I did. Because
they did.
Yeah. The first half, it just felt like a procession. And, you know, I'm not as big a lover of the Jeopardy as you are, Nick, or as Ben is. But that first half just felt far too routine. So, you know, having a little bit of we're gonna find a way to face Brackley. We're gonna find a way to fuck it up. It made it a bit more exciting.
Me liking the Jeopardy, then I just made my horny noise, and that doesn't bode well for the rest of the season.
I'm so glad that didn't come through.
Yeah. Well, you heard it when we were getting your TV out of the box on Friday night. It's fine, mate. You heard it.
That's not a euphemism. Nick did help me with the television. It still is. I haven't broken it yet.
No, that's true. Yeah, well done.
I mean, the other thing about Brackley was that they'd lost a player just before, in the latter stages of the warm up. They had players playing out of position, and the man, I can't remember what his name is now. Cowan, is it? Yes, I think it may be Cowan. Was talking afterwards, and he was very complimentary about the club. About the players, about Charlie, the food and how they'd kind of been made to feel welcome, which was really nice. But also, was saying that his lads were playing out of position. They were kind of doing their best, and there wasn't much more he could have asked of them, which I thought was very fair. And we are a nice club, and we went out the corner between the railway end and say you can't get out until the tunnel's gone, and I was one of many people who stood and clapped the Brackley players off, and it's just nice, but they appreciate that. So
that's a big, that's a proper FA Cup thing, that, isn't it? Like applauding the Did the Reading fans do that for Harborough on Sunday? You'd hope they would, wouldn't you?
Probably not. I don't know. They won, so maybe they did.
Aren't they Tories, aren't they, Reading?
Maybe they did. Harborough really could have won that game. I was gutted for them. Like they had one of their players.
All weekend.
they had a player miss a far post header at the death, and I genuinely thought it had gone in because of the way that it hit the side of the net and everything rippled. I thought, they've done it. But as soon as it went to extra time, I just thought that's probably them. And then there was the confusion about substitutes. And I've learned something through all
that
of
was in
that.
the WhatsApp group as well. It's been so nerdy this weekend.
I know, I love it. This whole thing of getting an extra sub in extra time. No, not in the FA Cup. It's still 5 subs, even in extra time. But you do get another opportunity. So if you've had your 3 opportunities to make 4 substitutions during the match, you can make a 5th. And I believe it was Exeter City had to replay a game a year or 2 back because they made a 6th substitute in extra time and won the game and went through. And then the
So
FA were like,
I was going to go on
you made
Football
too many
Manager and
subs.
check this. I was going to go on Football Manager and check this, but it turns out I'm so good at Football Manager that my FA Cup
You
game
can't
won't go to
draw.
extra time.
Yeah.
So,
And obviously, Reading just barely beating Market Harborough wasn't even the story that the BBC led with, because the story the BBC led with was that Wrexham's league game in January was being postponed.
yes.
I don't.
Have we got a swear jar for Wrexham?
Well, no, but there's an alarm going off at Fearless and Devotion headquarters right now. Oh, well, while we're talking about them, I enjoyed the fact that the programme for the FA Cup draw tonight managed to shoehorn in Wrexham.
Oh,
Yeah, but that was
really?
Harrogate beat them, wasn't it?
No, it was because they had was it an ex-United player on there at the start, and he scored for Wrexham against Arsenal, I think.
Right.
And they
Because
had to,
Simon Weaver
mention
was
that.
on, so I was fairly sure that they were going to get it, because obviously it was Harrogate. that
Harrogate knocked them out. Which, when that got announced as a TV game, I was like, yeah, cool. You know, League One side against the non-league side, that makes sense. Forgetting that Harrogate are a League Two side.
They literally played each other last season.
Yeah, I'd mentally relegated them. Sorry, Harrogate. I'm not. But yeah, that was.
Well, I
that
think
was
it's safe to say we're not going to be on telly in the next round until the replay. Oh.
Yeah, I might have been able to go to the replay. If we'd been at home, I think we'd have actually been within a decent shout of being on telly.
Oh yeah,
but,
definitely, yeah.
You know, League One side away at Crystal Palace, it doesn't scream.
There's bigger gaps, much bigger gaps.
Yeah, Tamworth v Tottenham has to go on.
Oh,
I might watch that. Right.
Yeah.
More
The best thing about the draw for me was Arsenal and United getting drawn against each other, because then that stops the yearly whinging about the fact United end up on telly. It's like, well, of course they do, because they've got more fans than everyone else. So half the nation are going to tune in because they're United fans and watch it, and the other half are going to tune in the hope that United lose. And it's been the same for like 30 odd years. But now at least it's Arsenal United. I know they play each other twice a season on Sky, but people who don't have Sky can watch it. Because people who don't have Sky have no way of watching football games, apparently. Just
That's why I still love the FA Cup. Because I can watch.
Watch matches. That was another one. People bitching about the fact that there were no replays on the big screen on Saturday.
Well, we need a big screen.
Were they?
Because obviously I wasn't there. I'd like to know. I'd like to know what the situation is. Was the talk last week true?
Yeah, we have four sides. Four sides, yeah. It's very exciting.
Good. And what about the scoreboard thing?
Well, the scoreboard didn't look that much bigger to me.
It looked smaller, but I was in a different stand. So
well, you've got your new telly, Will. So all these
everything looks smaller.
So I'm not sure whether the scoreboard's been done or whether it's just incrementally bigger, or maybe we've had the bigger scoreboard in for a while. But yeah, we're now four sides, because the pop side had still had boards. So we've got four sides of electronics, and they seem to be like a different tone as well. They were less kind of offensive and glaring to the eyes than
yeah. It seems like somebody's.
It's been a bit grim in recent weeks. Them screen, yeah. I know. It was mentioned in the co-op meeting with the club the other week. Someone had emailed in and said, "Look, can you ask?" Because it has been ridiculous for night games. I'm a big fan of the Vitality dog, though.
Oh no, because I'm like, that whole meme about squirrel. That's what I'm like with the Vitality dog, and it makes me think of that episode of Ted Lasso when the dog gets brutally murdered by the free kick.
I've never seen Ted Lasso.
I couldn't get into Ted Lasso. I tried, Hannah. I tried, but I just couldn't.
I'm the same as Nick. I tried and just didn't get it. Like it didn't. It didn't click for me.
So incredibly happy.
Oh, except when the dog got brutally murdered.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you describing Ted Lasso or Breaking Bad here? That sounds uncharacteristically
See,
bleak.
I think that's an episode of Peep Show as well, isn't it? Doug getting cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they killed Mummy and now they've eaten her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me here quoting Peep Show. Let's have a non-league. Oh, did we have a comment?
Well, there was a comment that I appreciated because I'm in full agreement and thought the same at the game, which is Anthony Nixon mentioning how much of a difference Collar makes, and he did. And I think I said that when Collar was out, we were playing poorly. He came back, and that was the other part. We've got Mash back, we've got Rydell back, but Collar coming back as well has made a massive difference. He goes off at half time, and we just had no real legs or energy at all in the midfield. I think Will Collar is kind of an underrated cog in the machine. I mean, he was springing Brackley's offside trap for fun in the first half. We were getting balls pinged over their back line, and he was 3 yards beyond their last defender. I think he's having a great
Hannah,
season.
are you also watching the countdown on Will's screen here? Are you?
Oh, for
8,
God's
7,
sake.
6.
There we go.
Oh,
There we go.
let's
Fixed
see
it.
what
Fixed it. It just goes pink.
I got distracted by the WhatsApp group and someone saying that Palace put coaches on for Grimsby and Hartlepool, and I was like, oh, sweet that Palace think that like we're that level, and then I was like, oh, actually, it's only like 1 below and then 2 below, isn't it?
Wow.
Good. Can we need to get the Egg Butty accreditation from Ben actually, because he's basically graded all the away fixtures in terms of what Egg Butty level.
My gut says it might be a 2 because it's London, which would typically make me think not that high, but it is South London, which makes it a bit more of a faff. So maybe a 2.5, maybe a 3. But if Bristol Rovers yes. Yeah,
I can go
it's
to
the
the
same
Peep Show flats.
It's the
Yay!
It's the same train line out of Victoria, I believe. I have been past it on the train. I've never been in, but I've been past it on the train.
I will need someone to take me on the tube because I can't do it myself.
The tube's easy. I could give you a crash course
No.
on the tube. You'll be fine. It is. It is. I'll give you a lesson. Come round. I'll do you a presentation on my nice big new TV.
Fucking hell. Right, let's have everyone's favourite feature. It's the Random County Non-League Goal of the Week. That was a proper FA Cup tie. Jimmy Ball giving County the lead on in 2016 in the first round. We'd already fought our way through three qualifying rounds. We'd gone through together. They were the days. That was a proper FA Cup draw. That was.
My favourite part of all of that. My favourite part of all of that is Gary Stopforth.
My favourite part of most things is Gary Stopforth, to be honest.
He's probably going for it. He's like
he livens everything up. Yeah.
Also, deliverer of a terrible pass back.
Yes.
Oh,
although actually,
out tonight, Hannah.
So I'm just going to gloss over that. So that is an instance where the keeper is more to blame.
Yeah.
And I say that as one of Ben's biggest fanboys. I'm not his biggest, Chris Eaton. I will happily take second or third place. But yeah, it was at him. Okay, Stopforth is wrong to aim between the posts, but it was at Ben. He's looked at where his keeper is and he's played a pass back to his keeper. Whereas that wasn't the case. It was a no-look pass on Saturday. So, yeah.
There's a I Had Trials Once episode with Gary Stopforth.
I don't think I've seen that.
He's good value on podcasts. And
Yeah.
I remember when we did the live show. What were the highlights from the live show we did with him? So we had him. Yeah, so we had him at Notion with Mike Flynn, and he was just telling these wild stories, Gary Stopforth, about all the bother he's got into. And I said to him, you strike me as a man who loses a lot of mobile phones. And he pulled a Ziploc bag out of his pocket that had his wallet and keys and phone in. And I just thought, what a man. And then as soon as the show had finished, he stuck around to take pictures with people and sign stuff. And then he just disappeared into the night. Just didn't say bye or anything, just disappeared. I went outside having a cigarette, and I could hear from like the other end of the marketplace him like laughing with someone. And then my mate Pete was working in Wetherspoons, and he sent me a picture of him with Gary Stopforth. So Gary Stopforth just did a solo tour of all these pubs. I don't think he's been home since 6 years ago, and I think he's still just wandering around Stockport. Yeah. Oh, what a guy! They were the days. Proper characters back in the day. I don't players like that anymore. I spent too much time with my dad.
I don't think either of you are, but neither of you are going to the Kevin Francis thing, are you?
I'm still undecided.
Yeah,
at the moment, I'm not. I've had an expensive month, and I still have Christmas presents to buy.
Some of us
but the other part of me,
Stockport and still at Goths, but you know.
Yeah, well, we had plans to do that on Saturday, and somebody called in sick. It's all right. I fell asleep on the sofa watching the FA Cup. Yeah, I do want to go, and I'm aware that Kevin Francis is not in this country very often, and friends, friends. But I'm still undecided.
I've resisted it so far because of the potential restraining order, but Andy Freese and Kevin Francis.
It's going to be Andy Freese.
We can ask him like to defend to his mate why he didn't put him in his top 11.
We can't do that. That's just
want to borrow my lapel mics and my camera and stuff, and you can get that as a great bit of content. But I mean, we had Andy Freese first. You know, I don't want to show off or anything, but
yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Speaking of events,
I wanted to message him and like, do you want me to get you a ticket? Because the two of them together just. I'm getting my passport. Do you want me to get yours?
Oh, absolute joy. The Co-op are promoting Forever Friends of Uganda are having an evening with Fraser Horsfall.
They are
Bath.
in January.
What? In January. I can't remember the date now. We'll get the date to you. Don't worry. But or you can just look it up, people. Right. Wednesday, Birmingham. The one.
Oh yeah.
Is it? I suppose it is the one people sort of looked out for, and both Birmingham games have fallen in quite horrible. This one being midweek, and then the home one being New Year's Day hungover and stuff. It's all a bit of a letdown. But so I've done a bit of research on Birmingham. I say a bit of research. I read what Pugwash, the Leyton Orient fan, said on Yellowboard.
All right,
which is all the research you need about League One, really.
He's fairly on it. He's fairly knowledgeable.
For a Londoner, it's all right, isn't he? And
they did
essentially
Birmingham, like first game of the season, didn't they?
Yeah. So essentially, it's a lot of sideways, hesitant passing, but they've probably got the best forward line and midfield in the league. So
certainly the most expensive that this division has ever seen.
So Birmingham have spent more money than Man City have this season.
Fuck off.
No.
I've got a great stat as well.
Oh my god.
Right, you ready? Burton, off of bottom of the table, broke a British record this summer for signing the highest number of players in a single transfer window. How many players did they sign?
Brilliant. I mean, it must be a lot because Chelsea have done a lot.
20.
No, 27.
23.
I wasn't far off. I was aiming at the 22-man squad, so I thought it's got to be around that sort of ballpark. Because even if you've got a couple of under 21s, assuming they didn't get rid of everyone in the summer,
They released. How many did they release? Well,
it's 23.
24.
Ah, so close.
God, that's some good number wanging that was.
Yeah, it was. It was. I enjoyed that a lot.
Do you have a third stat, Will, to follow that up? We've given. I've got a great stat actually.
No.
I have a fantastic stat.
Why would you do that? I could have got stats, but you didn't give me any warning.
No, I didn't know we were going to. This one is fabulous. So, the player that we're not naming, and we're not going to say his name because it's going to be annoying. It's going to be just an annoying 2 months coming up. If he hadn't scored a goal in open play this season, then we'd only be 5 points worse off than we are right now. So, a ray of hope there for the future.
Yeah,
I think as well, that person and the drinking game associated to him from the summer. We've done this before. A Swindon fan sent me a meme first time here, and it was two blokes at the gallows. And it's no, we keep doing this. We had it all summer. We had it last autumn. Almost as soon as he confirmed he was coming back in the summer, people were talking about recalling him in January. We just need to.
I think
it's great. It's great how a journalist I've never heard of wrote an article saying he was getting recalled and sent to the Championship, and I was like, yeah, that's true. And now another journalist I've never heard of has said, oh well, actually no, there's no plans to recall him. And now I'm like, yes, I don't know what to do with myself.
So my whole thing with the person who shall not be named situation is I've seen on particularly one opposition team's message board how much it will screw us over if he does get recalled by a certain Premier League team. We can all guess which opposition team I'm referring to.
Is it the same one where some of their fans were saying they should sign him?
Well, there might be. There might be. I don't know, because I think there's a couple of teams like that. There'd be a Klaxon if I said their name.
But that's the one.
I've had to remind them that we lost this player. I almost said his name. In our 15th game, our 15th league game last season. And okay, he did come back for a few games towards the end of the season, but he wasn't fit. He didn't really play a part in those games.
He didn't score, did he?
No, he missed a penalty, which I felt awful about. We still won the league. We're fine.
Easily. Yeah.
All right, it will be a blow, and there is the excitement that comes with a player like that and those moments of magic, but we are not a one-man team. And I think it says a lot that we struggled more without Will Collar than we did without this aforementioned loanee player, who I still think is brilliant, and I am going to miss when he inevitably leaves, be that in January or the summer.
So
John, the Birmingham fan in the comments, has confirmed, they spent more than City. Hello, John.
Wow. Hi, John. Actually, you mentioned before about sorry, Hannah, but you mentioned before about it being one of the first fixtures people look for. It was for me, but for probably different reasons than other people, which is that I lived in Birmingham for 3 years as a student. I really love the city. I could see their ground from my flat in Halls in first year, and I never went. I never went to Villa Park either. So I'm actually really looking forward to taking a ground off. Plus, my brother lives just south of Birmingham, so we're getting to both go. Not wearing colours, and I've insisted that as a stipulation of being with me when I go to the game.
That's when you know it's proper football, when it's like, don't wear your colours, whatever you do. Like, well,
I didn't wear my colours to Blackpool, but yeah, Birmingham do have a reputation that I believe is well earned.
I wonder what I'm going to put in my usual tweet to accompany the team lineup. I'm sure Peaky Blinders will get a mention. I had a Brackley and Manchester United fan whinging at me on Saturday because what I'll do. So when they announce when the county lineup gets posted, I'll quote tweet it, and it'll He's like, "Oh, come on, County, get into these, and I'll name 2 things that place is famous for, and end it with bastards." So with Brackley, it was I can't even remember what it was. It was like 7 away fans, something else, bastards. And this United fan just started replying, taking the piss, going, "Oh, your grounds are shit all," and all. It's like, have you seen Old Trafford recently? And then he said, "Oh, a bit weird calling a National League North team a bastard." I was like, we do it every week. It's a running joke. Not as much of a running joke as Man United are, admittedly, but it's a thing. It's a
And
thing
City at the moment.
Get over yourself. Yeah. Oh, that's great, isn't it? Yeah, that's just fun for everyone.
I can't remember if he's Villa or City, but Benjamin Zephaniah is my go-to Birmingham reference.
I was going to go Peaky Blinders, Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne's a great shout. Peaky Blinders, I just think, is too overdone now.
You're telling me.
Kevin Francis is also a brilliant. But Benjamin Zephaniah is one of the greatest British poets of all time, and he's a Brummie. So
second only to John Cooper Clarke, if I may.
I'd say there's some discussion to be had there. I generally would probably lean towards Johnny Clark, but Zephaniah opened my eyes as a teenager. So yeah.
Oh, look at culture! Look at that! Only on this show can you go from getting dicks in
knob gags
a discussion of poetry.
Poet laureates. I think
you don't get that anywhere else. That's fantastic. That's genuinely the proudest I've been of any podcast.
You know what we should do when we nominate ourselves for the Football Content Award?
Yeah.
This is the post.
This is the clip.
Yeah.
Right.
We go from knob gags to poet laureates.
Oh my god, that was. I'll just make a note of that to go in the episode title.
Knob gags and poet laureates. Yeah, let's get that. Yeah.
Right.
All the go on.
We got distracted. You were telling us about your Birmingham research. Like, what was your
Birmingham? Oh yeah, you had Birmingham research.
No, that was it. Essentially, there's a lot of backwards and sideways passing that might bore us into submission. But in terms of the attacking players they've got on the pitch, I think most Championship sides would worry about coming up against them.
Insanely good record at home.
Yeah.
Yes.
They are very good at home. Not that they're not good away, but they are. I think they're like second in the league at home and maybe third in the league away. So this is not, an easy.
Let's just hope that this illness that has swept the squad. I don't know what they ate in Dublin last week.
I know.
But they've all picked something up. Haven't they? Oh, disgusting! Why would you eat anything out of the sea?
They seem to be good at nicking penalties. I've not done enough research into this to know whether, there's a Paul Mullen element to nicking penalties.
Every time I've watched them, they seem to get a penalty.
Yeah.
Is it the Stansfield effect? Or?
Well, but he's Jay is getting his goals up with those penalties.
Your Bezzy mate. It's just the way you said Jay there. It was like he was your best mate. It's like, Jay.
So when I was doing my research, I was reading about Jay Stansfield, ex-Exeter, and all the stuff about him going back there, and his dad played for Exeter and died when he was young, and there's a lot of background to him. But Iwata, he is really good. And often on the score sheets alongside Mr. Stansfield. They're just a good side, aren't they? They're well put together, and but we've said this before about many teams that we have struggled against in the past. We only have to play them twice a season.
Yeah. We're a good side ourselves, and we're getting better and better as well. So
I would still take a point.
Oh yeah,
I'd happily take a point.
And I know
if we were
that
top of league by 10 points, I'd still take a point at Birmingham.
Yeah.
I know Ben Walker would disagree. He would never take a point ever, and I love him for it. But I would absolutely take a point on Wednesday. I'd take 0-0, keep the clean sheet run going, and just bore both sides, bore everyone to tears. I'm like,
0-0 wouldn't surprise me at all, to be honest. So.
I feel like
just realised. Ian Dowden's made a very good point about the FA Cup draw. This will be the first ever county game
It's not the first ever county game.
Wait,
It's not. We had VAR against Carlisle.
Sorry, yeah, in the playoff final, yes, the second ever county game to have VAR.
With VAR, and in fact, when Carlisle scored their equaliser, there was a check underway if we'd handballed it in the area prior to that. They didn't finish the check because Carlisle scored. But there was a check underway when I had a friend who was working for ITV who happened to be at what's the place they go to?
Can't do anymore.
Stockley Park.
That's the one. Stockley Park, yeah. I had a friend who was working as producer for ITV, and he was texting me live updates on what was happening in the VAR bunker. I don't know what they call it.
Bunker.
Both.
Well, bunker
should
doesn't
be
really help with the comparison I was about to make, because Stockley Park to me always makes me think of something that was like where they did the code breaking during the war.
Yeah, Bletchley Park. That is exactly what I. If you hadn't said that was going to be my.
I bet it stinks in there in the VAR bunker. All those horrible men.
Cheetos and Monster.
Yeah. Oh, I bet there's like what's it dust all over everything.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Not Cheetos, what's it? Yeah.
Ain't easy being cheesy, Will. Right. Before we wrap up, we should get on to the game that everyone, in all the excitement of drawing a middling Premier League side away and beating Brackley, having Birmingham to come. We've also got the small matter of being back at home at Edgeley Park on Saturday with the visit of Exeter.
Oh yeah.
Exeter.
Bottom of the form table across 6 games, Exeter, but have had a bit of a bad run in terms of the teams they've played.
They've got some horrible fixtures.
Across 10 games, they're 13th, and which is consistent with their league position, but they've not had a great little last 5 or 6.
And here comes Dr. Stockport to make you feel better.
And they they lost to Birmingham, which was, Birmingham were on the comeback after Shrewsbury. There were kind of some scores to be settled. But Chris Davies said that he thought that their performance against Exeter was the best that they played. But, I think it was 2-1, and it was another last minute winner. They're very good at last minute winners. They're very good at coming from behind. I feel like we've played a few teams like that this season, although I did say that against Bolton. Calm down. They're very good coming from behind.
At half time against Bolton, I was convinced that we were gonna lose like 3-1 or something, and 90% of that was you. You would just put that in my head. Oh, Bolton really good in the second half. Like 1-0's not a big enough lead. Like they score a lot of goals in the second half. And I was convinced. I was stood behind the pop side with the guys I sit with normally, just going, "Oh yeah, no, they're gonna really come out all guns blazing second half. They're gonna absolutely. We've got to be. If we win this one, if we win this 1-0, I'll be dead happy." And then 10 minutes, 5 minutes, not even into the second half, and it's like, oh, okay, that's good. Let's see what happens.
I stand corrected. It was 2-0. Exeter did not score against Birmingham.
Oh,
that's something.
Oh, poor Exeter. Poor Exeter. It's another instance, actually, where we're playing teams back-to-back who've just played each other, like we had with Cambridge and... that whole thing of us, Cambridge, Blackpool...
Mansfield.
No, there was... Who did we play third? Who did we play third in the league?
Mansfield.
When we were still winning? No, because we won our first 3 games. And it was us,
list of episode titles.
Cambridge, Blackpool, and someone else. And we had our own little mini league going on for the first 2 or 3 games of the season. It was Bristol Rovers. Thank you, Ian. I did think that for a moment and doubted myself. But it was just a little.
I was sat with their backroom stuff in
the
main stand.
Just a little quirk of the fixture list. I love those.
I just love the phrase "quirk of the fixture list."
It's good.
I prefer quirk of the fixture list to the fixture gods, which is a phrase that always annoys me. So let's hope the fixture gods are kind. So no.
There's so much manual intervention, and that's why I wanted Jim to fix it for me to meet as an adult, not as the child. to meet the man who does the fixture list because I'm obsessed with it. Like there is some machine element, but it goes into kind of local policing and what's going on in other games and other sports. It's so interesting.
It's a committee though, it's not just one man, surely.
There is, I'll find the article. There is one man who is kind of responsible for overseeing it. And in my head, I don't know if this is true. He's got like little bits of paper and he moves them around on his phone.
That's what I imagine. Yeah.
My expectation of how it works is they get those kind of critical things of this team can't be at home on the same day as this team. They plot out all those little bits.
Yeah.
And then there's probably a computer that just fills in all the gaps when sort of all of that is kind of aligned.
A super computer.
I do find no, it's not. I do find it bizarre that Blackpool and Preston can't be at home on the same day, but Birmingham and Villa can be at home on the same night in a midweek. Because Villa are at home to Brentford when we play Birmingham on Wednesday. And I do think that's a bit strange. I know West Midlands Police have probably got more resources than Lancashire Police, but they're like, 3.5 miles apart, Villa Park and St Andrews? And Preston and Blackpool are 15 miles apart? I actually don't know. But it's more than 3.5. Because that's the whole...
Give me some credits for how mature I stayed during the Jimmy Savile conversation there.
You did.
I had things on the tip of my tongue, and
So did Jimmy Savile.
See, if I'm not doing it, someone has to. So well done. In terms of a fantastic stat from Chris Eaton regarding Birmingham that he reminded me of in the chat, and I had to say what was the stat again because I'd forgotten. The last time we got a point at St Andrews was 104 years ago. And we'll be posting the highlights of that on our socials tomorrow.
Also, on the subject of Chris Eaton, go and subscribe to his YouTube channel.
Yes.
Because it is brilliant, and I'd go and subscribe, but I've been subscribed for years. I don't know. Maybe.
Seemingly. Well, 2 weeks in a row we've done it.
Well, I didn't know you did it last week, so...
We'll do it. Oh, were you here?
I wasn't here.
No, you weren't.
I was watching, but apparently I didn't listen to all of it.
Me thinks the lady doth protest too much.
That's not what that means.
I've tried to share the link to the article about Glenn Snellgrove, who is the man that does the fixture list.
Oh, that's a great name.
I know. Well, but it won't let me post it, so I'll have to add it to social media.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's the what's his name again?
Glenn Snellgrove.
He's definitely like the president of some.
I don't know where I got Snellgrove from. He's called Glenn Thompson.
Thompson and Snellgrove. It's just, I always get
very similar names. Yeah. It was a nightmare for him at school.
It says no. There is a Snellgrove involved because it says Glenn does this, and this. So it's Atos is the company that did. Right. Paul Snellgrove is the
Atos, aren't they a clothing thing?
No, that's ASOS.
Football League fixtures.
I was thinking of Atoll Protected, so.
Oh dear.
Oh, we're all a bit weird tonight, aren't we?
I mean, tonight.
Yeah, educational.
I've thrown my back out and had some rum. That's my defence.
I've been off my medication for a week, but I found them.
Yeah.
Well, that's my excuse. I just exist in this this football we call planet Earth. So
on this football we call planet Earth. Nice little football reference you got into talking about the planet. I like it. It's good. Someone should design for a World Cup football that is a globe.
Go on.
No, that's the globe. I'm saying that one year for the World Cup, it should be all the continents on the ball.
Why has that not been done? I would love.
I'd buy that ball. I would buy that replica ball. I'd buy the official licensed one.
I'll get onto my connections at the sweatshops and see what's going on there. Oh,
I genuinely would love that.
Why has that not been done?
Because it would look awful, but I'd love it.
It wouldn't. It'd be cool.
There'd be all these comments about, yeah, but there'd be people looking at which part of the ball they kicked when they took a free kick. It's like, oh, this player kicked Africa, he's a racist. You know there'd be comments like that.
And which player would it be that's first?
Don't
I was
know.
gonna say something then, but
I'm already regretting everything I've just said.
I don't like this line that we're going down. Leading me down a bad road, baby.
Yeah.
God.
So who's after Exeter?
I don't know. I'd forgotten about Exeter.
Next week it is Bradford.
Oh yeah.
Bradford next week in the virtue signalling BDSM whips and change autograph pizza paint trophy.
And we've got ex-chicken Liam Chu.
We have got
joining
former
us.
chicken and current man Liam Chu will be joining us.
Yeah.
Next
But
week.
he's not coming to the game because normally we tend to sit together and he needs to control himself, which is, sometimes fine. Unfortunately, I think we've beaten Bradford both times that we played them recently when we've been sat together. But yeah,
he goes in the home end.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brave.
Yeah, we snuck him in. So yeah, so he's joining us on the podcast on Monday, and he'll be able to tell us how much the basic content of his messages on Saturday were bitching about Neil Byrne getting sent off just before they conceded.
Okay.
Because they lost to Morecambe.
They would have had Chelsea away if they'd won that.
Oh shit, yeah.
The scene of one of their greatest ever triumphs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible. Oh, that's sickening, isn't it?
Yeah.
Neil Byrne's been doing well for them, though, hasn't he?
Better than Anthony Sarcevic.
I thought he had been. I thought they liked Burner, as Charlie calls him.
Don't call him Burner. I don't like it when Dave does it. I don't like it when you do it. You don't. Of all the, I know it's a departure from the just sticking wire. Powley is a terrible nickname.
It's not good. It's not good.
Oh, that was a good impression of Dave Challoner. Do you want to do the same impression but with Saturday Tuesday, which I always find a very Dave Challoner phrase. He always, when we're playing Saturday Tuesday, he always mentioned it in his interview. Speaking of Dave Challoner, he was on BBC Radio Manchester yesterday as the co-commentator on Liverpool against Manchester City with the commentator who was Mike Miney, who will be joining us on here very soon for the launch of his documentary with Macaulay Tell the Males.
It's all
Did anybody listen to that radio coverage?
No.
I did, yes.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah.
Was it
I
good?
didn't care enough about Liverpool and Man City to watch it, and I wanted to play some Football Manager.
I did when I saw that.
Get the radio.
I did when I saw that Liverpool were winning.
John says they have fireworks. These are real fireworks, not metaphorical fireworks, or like actual fireworks, not lobbed from the back of the away end fireworks.
At the away fans. It's just like it's the Zulus just launching the fireworks at the away end. I have a question for John, actually. If there are fireworks, is this something that has been introduced by your American owners, or is this something you've done for longer? Because this feels like I hope John is typing furiously. I'm looking forward to his answer.
It's just a small step from that to a light show, though, isn't it?
It is.
I was going to say I wouldn't be a fan of the light show, but
there you go. There it is.
It's
the American owners have introduced the fireworks.
In terms of American owners interfering, it could be worse, couldn't it?
It could. I didn't know how I felt about the fireworks on our trophy presentation last season. You remember the pyros that went off? And I know it's a Football League thing.
Out, was it?
Yeah, it was. I didn't.
Yeah, it was a bit weird.
It felt a bit strange that.
What?
Flame cannons. I do like flame cannons. He's speaking my language.
He does say sadly though, so John's not a fan.
I wouldn't be a fan of the light show, but I am kind of a fan of flame cannons. I'm not going to lie.
So
I'm not saying I want. I don't want that. I don't want that. It's fine as long as you're not strobing. It's fine. I don't want it at Actually Park, but I do kind of
I
like
think
the idea
novelty
of.
value, and then we can all tut and be like, "Oh, you wouldn't."
I like this
How
latest
long
comment
after
from
they
Chuck.
start before we get a rousing chorus of what the fucking hell was that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I think
here for.
you've got to wait until they finish. You've got to wait until they finish. There's that brief moment of absolute silence at the end of any firework display. That's when you come in with what the fucking hell was that? That's the moment.
I bet
And
it would
I'm
be the
here
first
for
time
it.
I've had it.
Oh, 100%. It won't be.
No, it's
but
right. We did have halftime cheerleaders at County.
The
Yeah, we
Wildcat
did.
Dolls.
The Wildcat Dolls.
Yeah.
yes.
The
Yes.
dangerously young Wildcat Dolls.
Were they?
Yeah.
Yes, with some of the comments I heard from people as well. Oh, it was a worrying time both on and off the pitch for Nick.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
of the things
That-
people around me were saying.
I just did an impression of Hannah from Saturday then. I don't think I did it quite so well the second time. The first time, I think I had it nailed. When I wasn't trying to do an impression, when I was just grimacing, I think I had it
You know
nailed.
what it looked like though. So I have Botox in my jaw because I clench my teeth. And it stops me destroying my teeth when I'm sleeping, basically. But one time they messed it up and I couldn't smile. I had like the emoji, the grimace, and that's what that picture was like on Saturday. Like,
We're
The
not
only
allowed
fans
to
who didn't
highlight that.
sing- The only fans who didn't sing "What the fuck was that" was Wrexham, surprisingly. Oh,
Shocking.
I've enjoyed having John with us. We'll get him on for the next. We'll get him on for the next Birmingham game. He's our type of people.
Yeah,
I think
I'm a fan.
John used to follow or does follow the League One Look account, and I like him a lot. He's very
Man of
makes
culture.
me laugh, but he's also like a bit shithousey, but he knows exactly what he's doing and he's funny with it. And I don't think he fully means it. I think it's like,
I don't
mind
he's
that.
my type of person.
I don't mind
Yes, brilliant. Yeah, well, I bet he loved the poetry chat as a man of culture.
that. As a Brummie man of culture as well.
a Brummie man of culture. Yeah.
Which again, having lived there for 3 years, Brummies are a cultural people. I have a lot of time for Birmingham. I don't live there now, but a lot of time for Birmingham.
Well, if you
Actually,
like it so
honestly,
much-
I didn't want to move. I didn't want to move away. I didn't want to, when I went back to the southeast after uni. I was gutted. I loved Birmingham. I'm very much looking forward to having a little wander around on Wednesday.
are you going to the world's biggest Primark?
No,
Oh,
I've been to the Bullring before.
so a few years ago, Sophie, all she wanted to do for her birthday party was to go to the world's biggest Primark. So we went, and as I pulled into the car park, I battered the tyre on the thing. Tyre went completely flat. I had to get the AA out, but he couldn't get in because of the ceiling. The
as they call it in Birmingham, the oi.
It was great. It was such a good day. But
Did you get to go to the big Primark though?
Yeah, and there's like a Disney cafe in there as well.
Right.
So yeah, it's fun, and we got boba tea because that's what the cool kids get.
Oh.
Phil Lloyd brings up New Street Station, which has undergone such a transformation since I left Birmingham that last time I went there, I was lost. And anyone who knows me knows I pride my sense of direction. I came out of New Street Station on a side I didn't know existed and did not know where I was. It's completely different to how it was 15 years ago.
Yeah. As soon as you said New Street Station, the viewer count went down by 7. As soon as you said, "Well, Mike, last time I went to New Street Station," it went boom.
Yeah, it sounds like railway chat.
Because they've we know there's a point at the end of the podcast where it just descends into
Utter madness.
topic rambling, and I think that was probably the point at which we're there now.
I had chips and wedges with my tea tonight. What do you think of that?
Oh,
It's like Take Me Out. It's like on
we
Take Me Out.
haven't-
This where the bloke's like dead handsome, and everyone's like, all the women are like loving the bloke. No one puts the light out. And it's like, oh, I'm Alan. I'm 26, and I live with my mum. And it's like, boo 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 boo. And that's exactly what that was like then.
And on we haven't had enough food chat, and I mentioned this in the WhatsApp group the other day. Aldi hash brown fries are a revelation.
Yeah.
I recommend cooking them slightly longer than the recommended time in the oven because they just get that little extra crispy. And
numbers got up by one there.
Yeah.
It's because we're back on food.
Because we're back on food.
What do you best?
So are they hash brown fries? So are they like very, very thin micro hash browns?
I mean, I guess they must be, yeah.
Is there onion in them?
I don't know. I'd have to check. My guess would be yes. But I just ate them. I didn't look at the ingredients.
While we're on food, Hannah, I've been asked to ask how your cauliflower thing. Is that a euphemism?
No. So at Cambodia in Stockport Produce Hall, because there's also a Cambodia in Marple, so I'm well accustomed to.
Oh, you're one of the locals, yeah.
Frequenting Cambodia. They do a honey sriracha cauliflower thing, which is like crispy and almost like caramelized.
Oh, hello.
So good. So Nigel was really personally offended by it because it was £8.50 for cauliflower, which he was just very upset by. And because I love it so much and I'm a feeder, I made everyone try it. And so Phil very politely said he didn't want to. Gave him a fork. So everyone tried the cauliflower. Everyone unilaterally said that it was lovely, but I think they were probably a little bit scared by that point.
That's really got me going. That has.
They also do a chili garlic version, which I've never had, but the honey sriracha one is incredibly good.
Can you save the dirty talk for WhatsApp, please? Don't go doing it on the. Oh God. Oh, I'm gonna have to go and sample this week. Ooh. So
no sign of onion, but there is onion powder in the hash brown fries.
Okay.
They're very good. And to answer Ian Dowden's question, we have. Sorry, bear with me. We have a Lego. Oh, wrong way. We have a Lego Star Wars.
To actually edit some stuff out of the audio. This is the first.
We have a Lego Star Wars trench run, Death Star trench run, and up there is the Dagobah training. It's just up there at the back.
The views went up by one while you were doing that, and just imagine that poor fucker tuning in. Going, I can't wait to get some great insight on the FA Cup draw, and it's just toys.
It was asked for in the comments. I'm responding to the comments. I'm answering chat, man.
Man of the people, like me.
I am a Zoomer talking to chat. The new third person pronoun that exists in the English language, which is chat. Because I'm a Zoomer at heart.
You might as well have been speaking Swahili for all I know. Right, we're wrapping it up there because this has taken the weirdest turn we've had. Hannah, do you have anything to say to lift things up? Say something about the football.
No, because then we'll go off on another tangent in 10 minutes.
Yeah, we will. You know me too well.
Probably go. So no, I won't. I'll safe travels to everyone going to Birmingham on Wednesday.
And home to wherever you go home to.
Yes.
Yeah. Safe journey home wherever you're travelling to. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hold your horses because we will have a full audio podcast very, very shortly. Well, 12 p.m. tomorrow. Say goodbye, everybody. Oh, and thank you people for tuning in as well. I never do that. Thank you for tuning in. It's much appreciated. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe and hit the link tree and find all our other links and do all that. Right, we're going. I've had enough.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.